guys, today we're gonna do something really fun. Why is it extra fun today? Because Chris Cunningham is with us from Cunningham Woodwork. You can follow him on Instagram and YouTube, go check him out. But what Chris does is creates a million things, but one special thing is these mallets.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking, and you came up with a different idea.
Yeah, to make a clear resin head.
So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get started. Hey guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe and then hit the bell too to get notified when we put out a new video. Let's do this then.
Okay.
So let me walk you through kind of my drawings, at least kind of what I've been thinking through the trusty notebook here. So this is, forgive the rudimentary sketches, everybody. So this is basically kind of what I've got here. I did some quick calculations to figure out the volume of the part and all this type of stuff. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by building a mold box. Okay, so we got 3 3/4 here. We just need 2 6.5s and then 2 6s.
Cool.
After that. So if you want to mark those up, I'll get that miter saw ready for you too.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and assemble this box. Let me get a drill bit. Yep, so
right.
I'll clamp this because the main reason I do that is because I want these surfaces to be as flush and as parallel as possible.
Okay.
The biggest thing we're worried about is doing a little bit of skew, then we got a gap.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that still regardless, but that's why I do the clamp, that's why I set it down. So rip away, man.
I haven't been doing any woodworking lately. This is out of my
out of
element.
practice a little bit?
Very much so.
We've got our box here, and that's great. If I tack this down right now and we clay it up, it'll be annoying because we have to get this mallet head down first.
Okay.
So that's what we're gonna do. This is your mallet head that you sent us. It's phenomenal. So it's really simple what we're gonna do. We're actually going to crazy glue this to the bottom. Why we crazy glue it is because if we don't, this thing could float up and your mold's ruined. So we don't want that. So here's our bottom. I'll have you go ahead and spray a little bit of accelerator onto the bottom of that thing.
Okay. Ready?
Go for it.
Any amount of time?
Yeah, that's about it. No big deal.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of crazy glue, and I feel so bad doing it to this mallet. I feel terrible. But
It'll sand off.
It'll sand off, that's right. And I'm just gonna do
Or
a
if
real...
you ruin it, you guys can keep it.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll send you a check. That's what he's not saying right now. So all I'm gonna do is just, we'll give it a little bit of a shake around. And it's just roughly centered, right? That's another reason why I like using a little bit bigger of a baseboard. Yeah. Is because if I'm a little bit to the right or left.
You're not married to that position yet.
Yeah. Fine, man. No big deal. So now you've got it kind of in the place that you want. Yeah. All you're gonna do is just tack down just little lines on all 4 sides. And we're tacking that down because we're gonna push clay into this. Yeah. And we don't want that box to move. Okay. Yeah. This is our synthetic clay. Okay. It's reusable. That's why we like using synthetic. If you use a water-based thing, it dries out. Yeah. You're spending a lot more money. This is just grab a brick, keep it in the shop, move on. Yeah. So I'm gonna get us a different surface to roll on besides this. I don't want it to pick up too much stuff. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, Chris. Like I said, old school arts and crafts. Okay. So get a little bit, not too much.
Something like that?
Yep, something like that. You know, you can ball it up a little bit, break it up, and then literally, it's like you and I are in 2nd grade again. I like to tell people, you don't want this huge, massive, thick thing. It's actually too much. And if you do a little tiny hairline, you're not gonna do it. Because what we're doing is we need a little bit of meat on the bones just to kind of stretch it out. So that, honestly, like that's pretty much perfect, right? Okay. Take one of those spaghetti lines or whatever, and you're just gonna lay it across here, just so you can get a sense of the width. Perfect.
So yeah, we're gonna reach 1 1/2 way.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. So you've got that. In fact, normally I'll cut these edges here, so I'll just give it a little quick putty knife cut. And then I've got this extra for us here too. So there it is on the side. Done. What we're gonna do is push this thing up against the part. Okay. So that you can feel it's against the part.
Yeah, without smashing it yet.
Without smashing it yet. Okay. And then if you think about this like an L here, you're trying to seal that crack that's down there. So you're just gonna push with your thumb down into that. Okay. And then hold the top of the box as well. And give it a little bit of oomph, you know, just really sealing it up. So that box that was wobbly before is gonna be a lot A lot better now. So you get to this edge here, you can just kind of break it off like that.
Okay.
It's no big deal. Spin your box around for you, and then the same thing here. Roll it up to the edge, hold the top of your box, right? You don't want that moving on you, and then you're pressing into the crack. Okay, so you've done the initial, see, look at that, just a massive clay mountain that I'll keep reusing. So you've done your initial push down into the corners, and that's great.
Yeah.
Now it's time, you can see there's little gaps that can come along the edge. So now what you're gonna do is just kind of from the middle, just a little bit of pressure, and then pull it up.
Okay.
That's gonna give you a nice seal on the top. And then once we do that, we can go over the screws, then we just kind of smooth it all out along those edges.
Okay.
Make sense?
Easy enough.
You do the top and then do the bottom as well, smoothing down along the edge.
Okay.
I never do anything.
All right. Cool.
All right,
Man,
are we
looks like
there?
something.
Yeah, this looks
And what do you
great,
think?
man. You, honestly,
Maybe
fantastic
touch up
job.
a couple little spots.
Yeah, if you want to, the nice part about doing the box this way, right, and doing a melamine box is you really have 4 spots where it can leak.
Yeah.
You have up along these walls, and honestly, you're a woodworker. You made this box so solidly. I'm not even super worried about that. If you want to be an extra paranoid,
Solid. Yeah.
solidly.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll just push it down, but this honestly should be fine. I'm not worried about this at all.
Cool.
Let's mix up some silicone. Silicone time. This is the fun part.
Yeah.
I love this part. We're gonna degas this stuff. We're gonna have a good time pouring it. This is Plat 25. This is one of our platinum silicones. 25 is like the shore scale. Plat 25 is 1:1. We're gonna use weight, so we're gonna use a scale.
Okay.
And then we'll degas
And
it.
it needs to be by weight.
I would say by weight. You could, you can do it by volume. I highly don't recommend that.
Okay.
Go by weight. So we'll go ahead, get the scale ready. I'm gonna get a pretty big mixing container for you here. Now, and you've just started working with silicone, right?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why
Like
we're using
a week ago.
Yeah, like we send them some silicone. It's great. Why we use this big of one is
like a pro.
because we're degassing this, right? You have to degas these.
So you need enough room for it to
need enough
expand
room.
and not get all over the vacuum chamber.
Expert already, man.
It's because I've done it before.
Give the guy a
I
week,
messed up.
and he knows what's going on. So that's why I'm using this monstrosity, right?
Yep.
Now the question is, how much do we put in? That's where I got this computer out, because we've got a volume calculator. This seems like a real shameless plug. I use this every day.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier for me than having to do all the math.
Yeah.
So we can plug in like the width and the depth of our mold box that we've already made, since we know that. And then we can actually plug in the part volume as well, so the width, height, and all that of the part too.
Yeah.
So this is actually the B side or the A side. It doesn't matter which one you add there first. This is all about 1:1, so no big deal. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and pour from this directly into that bucket,
Okay.
up to 950.
All right. 950, correct?
950 is what you're looking for. Oh, you're at
940.
Delicate process here.
Tear it.
Back to 0. Next part, another 950. Flat silicones, gotta degas them. So that's what we're gonna do. Perfect, you hit it right on the head. Done and done.
Okay.
I'll take this from you.
Take that.
So go
Stir with
ahead,
this.
you can move the scale away, and it's mix up time.
Okay.
So the nice part about mixing this up, since we're gonna degas it, you don't have to be too precious with it.
Okay. Just go ahead and.
Just go ahead, mix it. Scraping the sides is always important too. It's just gonna take us some time. So my gut is we fast forward this part. So I'm gonna pop this in here. Fits perfectly. This is just your standard vacuum. Kind of center the lid. If this is off, it's not gonna pull a vacuum. People know that.
Yep.
And then now we rock and roll. Okay, so I'm gonna shut this off here. If you look in there now, everything's pretty much gone.
Barely any
Right.
surface bubbles, but
Yep.
generally it looks pretty clear all the way through.
It's pretty clear all the way
Which is
through.
the point, right?
So I'm gonna just go ahead. That's satisfying. It's not that loud.
No.
No, so once this pulls off, we can take this lid off here, remove this bucket, and now you'll look at the difference in the silicone
Oh yeah.
before versus after. All right, so we've got this here. ready to go. Our mallet's glued down. Our walls are all firmed up and everything here.
Yep.
Now it's silicone pouring time.
Okay.
You ready for this? You're doing
Sure
it. I'm
am.
not doing it.
Oh, that's the only reason I came up here is just for this part here.
moment.
Yeah.
So here's what we tell people to do. First off, don't pour it on your part.
Okay.
That's not what you want to do. So find basically a corner,
Okay.
and that's what you're going to aim for.
Instead of it folding over itself
fold
and
over
possibly
itself.
creating air,
Exactly.
it'll lift from the bottom.
It'll lift from the bottom.
Makes
Now,
sense.
because of the nature of this part, there's going to be a little bit of air introduced for it, but I have a fun thing that you and I are going to do to make sure all that goes away.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. So
All right.
for now, get ready, get pumped.
All right.
You're aiming for the corner.
Okay.
So here's our mold. We're ready to go and kind of let this sit, but we're going to do one thing just to make sure we get all the air out.
Okay.
And you don't have to do this. Honestly, it'll be fine. But this is something I like to do. You just kind of hit the edge of this table a little bit. You're going to notice some of these bubbles come up to the top.
Yeah.
That's because we're actually vibrating, letting the silicone get in and move those air bubbles up.
Yeah.
So because your part has these beautiful bevels to it, it's a perfect place for air to get trapped.
Yeah.
So
like
we
on the
wanna-
bottom side.
Yeah, on the bottom side. So we want to release all that. So if you just, a little bit of this, and we'll just see all those air bubbles. There they go, come right up to the top. So there we go. This should be fine. This should have no problem.
We had 35 minutes of open time to mess with it. How long
right.
till we can demold?
This is the unfortunate side of silicone. And you can accelerate this process with some adders or with a little bit of heat, actually. You get about 12 hours.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You got to get home to Indiana.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. So we
And
actually...
they told me they did not want to pay for a hotel. They told me that.
How dare you? This guy's got a fresh kid, and we want to get him home for that.
Yeah.
No, so we actually worked ahead. You sent us that mallet, and
Yep.
we made it, I made a mold that, honestly, using these exact dimensions, that we can take a look at, that we can pour one and then demold one too. We're going to kitchen show this a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's be transparent about it. There's nothing yet, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move this to the side,
All right.
and then let's go into the pouring process.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a quick pause in this video, and if you haven't yet, you really need to go check out Chris Cunningham on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. He's got his own website. It was really awesome to have him here in the shop and to do this project with him. I know we're kind of interrupting the video, so sorry about that, but we really wanted to just take a moment and thank him, but also make sure that you guys knew about where you could find him online. Definitely go support his work, definitely go support what he does. He's an incredible maker, incredibly kind human being, and it was awesome having him here. Now back to the video.
Okay, so we've got this demolded. We've taken it out. We kitchen showed you a little bit. I got to shoot you straight, right? The silicone didn't cure in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's unrealistic.
Not one day anyway.
So
not one afternoon.
I worked ahead. I worked ahead a little bit, so I've got this. So this mold's ready to go, and we're gonna pour some clear in it now, some clear slow.
All right.
Do you have gloves on? Do you have glasses? Crushed it. You normally work with this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever done the slow mix?
No.
You've never done the slow mix.
I've always done kind of a fast and then toss it in the pressure pot, and
Right.
it
takes
goes
care
well.
of it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we tell people is, if you want to whip it up and use the pressure pot, go for that. That's totally fine. If you don't have a pressure pot, or maybe you're just super paranoid about bubbles, you can actually slowly mix this stuff. Use that 12-minute open time.
Yeah.
Not add any air, but still get it all mixed, and then pour.
Okay.
And it'll still come out crystal clear.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to try today, just so you can see what that's like.
One more step towards perfecting it.
One more step.
Yep.
Another step. So let me get you a scale real fast.
All right.
There's this. This is going to be old hat.
Okay.
For you. Okay, so you've teared it off. Look, you could do a lot of different ways to figure out how much you need. Some people pour water in these and then do that.
Yeah.
I like to just mix a little extra. I'm an eyeball kind of guy.
Yeah,
so.
that's me too.
So let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll mix a little bit
I don't
extra
measure
there.
anything.
Okay.
I've seen guys even take, so they don't have to dry it, they'll take
Right.
rice.
Rice is another great.
Yep.
Rice
So you
is
can
another great one.
Pour rice in here, pour it in there, and you literally, it goes to here. It's not a really scientific
easy.
way of doing it, but it
Super
gets you in the ballpark.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
you there.
Yep.
So clear slow, while Chris is doing this, clear slow is 1-to-1 by weight. That's why we got the scale here. And the method that he's gonna do, he's gonna tilt the cup, pour a little bit in, and then let it measure. So normally you can 2 different cups and then you add them together.
Yeah.
If you do the same cup and do the angle, It's just another opportunity for you to introduce air if you do it differently.
Yeah.
This just keeps the air as minimized as possible.
Okay.
So same thing, pour to the side, pour in there. And we got 12 minutes of open time, so we got plenty of time here. So while Chris is doing that, I'm just gonna grab our pressure pot here, get that kind of prepped for us. That way we just don't have to worry and think about this later. Hey,
Ooh,
I
300
like that.
on the nose.
Woo. There's your stir stick.
That'll never happen again.
All right.
All right.
So we're gonna take that
Off
down.
there.
I'll take that scale away from you. You don't need that. So go ahead, and I want you to put your stir stick in there.
Okay.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna move real slow here.
Okay.
So you don't really need to spend a lot of time.
And keep the stick on the bottom,
You
right?
can keep the stick on the bottom. We're actually gonna lift it off too, but
Okay.
now we're just, like I said before, real chill.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call that good, right? There's a tiny bit of air in there, but you know what? Chris and I are really hungry.
And that's what the pressure
And
pot's
that's what
for.
the pressure pot's for. Now here's the thing with a pressure pot. If you try to go ahead, and I'm just gonna throw that away.
Oh, yeah.
With a pressure pot, if you just dump this into the mold, right, and it's filled to the top, and now you gotta get this thing in there, and then you're shaking, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So what I personally like to do, I like to fill this up 3/4 of the way,
Okay.
get it into the pressure pot, and then finish my pour actually in the pressure pot.
Okay.
That actually allows me to not do any squeezing or spilling of the mold.
Oh, you don't enjoy the
pretty
stress of spilling all that resin on your hands?
I've done this too many times. This isn't like, oh, I'm so wise. This is I've messed up too many times
Yeah.
to want to do this ever again. So we're gonna add this lid very gently. We're gonna screw all these on here, and then we're gonna add some pressure to this. Okay. Now we're making sure that we're not shaking the pressure pot and spilling resin that's inside here.
Yeah.
But we are clamping this thing down as tight as could be.
Yep.
All right. So I am gonna add some air to this and we'll be good to go.
All right.
Sweet. So we've poured this. We worked ahead like we've talked about, right? But I wanted us to demold this, and so that you can actually see what it is.
Okay.
Now, like we talked about before, this top is crystal clear, right?
Yep.
Because there isn't any texture. We're going to see some texture on the sides because of the wood grain of the mallet.
Yep.
So demolding this, I want you to have the satisfaction of doing
Okay.
this. I'm not going to touch it.
Okay.
So start by just pulling the walls away from the mallet. Yep.
Okay.
You
You good?
got it. Oh yeah. So look at that. So
Okay.
it comes out as easy as could be,
Yeah.
right? So not hard. The biggest hiccup is going to be the center point, but we'll address that in a minute.
Okay.
So what we'll do now is go ahead and lift up the mold. You've got your wall separated. So go ahead and kind of from behind, push out just like that. So it comes out really easy. So
Except for that center.
except for that center. Now I've done this a few times with this particular mold because I got to work ahead.
Okay.
So if you actually go ahead and push it out, and you get a good grip on the head itself.
Okay.
I've actually had success with it coming out pretty easy. So that silicone doesn't
it's
stick
coming
to
out.
anything, right? There it is.
Oh, man.
So you're out of the mold,
There's that.
crystal clear. Look at that.
Man, that is crazy. You can see the wood grain. You can see the lines from the
That's
layers.
right. All of it.
That is wild. So yeah,
This is now your area of expertise, man. I'm out.
all right.
I've
All right,
done
well,
my job,
We
man.
might as
You
well
got
get
this.
get the wedges over here too.
Sweet.
So you can see from the side there that we have one dimension here, which I have no idea what it is. It's this many.
It's this many. It's this side, which is fine.
And then it goes up a 1/4 inch to the top, so you have enough for 2 1/8-inch wedges. Wow, that is perfect.
Isn't it insane?
That's crazy how well that fits. So, moment of truth. Of course, after testing the wedge, we know that this should fit.
Look at that.
Look at that, that's perfect.
That's nuts, man.
Here's the real test. That's a perfect fit.
victory, dude.
That is awesome.
You never have to make a wooden mallet again if you don't want to.
Woo! Oh man.
Wow. If you've ever wondered what the inside of one of those looks like, now you never have to. This is just when
I thought it was gonna be really awesome, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like even more blown away. I'm more excited.
You're
So-
gonna go home and make like 10 of these, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
It's just hard not to have fun with these, with this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just too enjoyable, man. All right, guys. Well, here's the thing. You got to check out Cunningham Woodworks. If you're not following them, I don't know what you're doing, okay? Check out Alumilite. Chris, one more time, man. Such a pleasure. Thanks
Thanks
for
so
coming
much.
out, man.
Yeah, this is a blast.